Greetings. You know, on the 22nd, I hit the 14th anniversary of blogging. It was my business blog, which is why I'm doing it on this channel. And it's a very interesting thing. I'm someone who has almost never had writer's block. Usually I have a topic, I can sit down, I can write less than 30 minutes most of the time, unless it's going to be a really epic post. I'm done. I put everything together, it's ready to go, and I move on with life. This particular post, it took me 6 tries. I started off writing something, didn't like it, put it away for a while, came back, changed the whole thing up, started writing again, didn't like it. I did that 5 times. And it was interesting because that's something I just never have had to do. I always have known what to say. However, what I wanted to kind of do was I wanted something somewhat different than my norm. For instance, on other anniversaries, I've written about leadership, I've written about blogging, I've written about business. I've never written about healthcare, but, on an anniversary. But this time I kept thinking, well, no, it's got to be something kind of different. And you know what I did? I wrote about me. I wrote about what I do for business, and I wrote about how I want to help people. I want to help hospitals, and I want to help people. And that's really the truth. Because one of those things that I thought about as I was, trying to come up with something is, how do I kind of come across to people as far as letting them know what I do? It's very strange. I mentioned revenue cycle consultant. Nobody knows what that is. Even a lot of people in healthcare aren't always sure what that is. So I wanted to kind of explain that a little bit better. I talked about leadership. And I talked about how not only in hospitals, but in businesses across the country, people are promoted because of their skill, but not because they know how to work with other people. And it's just a mess. Okay, I ask you this question. How many times have you gone to a store and they've, gone to get the manager, and the manager comes over and you think, this person doesn't know anything more than the person I was talking to. And you don't like the customer service, and you don't like how they're talking, and you don't like the fact that they can't give you any answers. Well, you know what? Good leaders always have some kind of answer, or they're going to take care of you, and they're going to take care of the employees. That's how it's supposed to work. And it's just across the board. So I talked about those things. I talked about the books that I've written. I talked about the articles I've written. And I eventually got something done. Even at that point, I thought, wait, did I really get it right? Is this really what I want to say? And that's kind of the point of this video. One of the strange things is that a lot of times when you're in leadership and you have people who report to you, you have to say things to them. And there are some people who think you should be brutally honest. I don't believe in brutally honest. I believe in honesty. But you need to make sure that you choose your words, because you don't really want people going back to their desk being depressed. You don't want them being worried. You don't want them to be so worried that they're not going to do their jobs. You want them to be hopeful. You want them to feel good. You want them to say, hey, look, I'm getting another shot at this. Or you're giving them encouragement and they're saying, yes, someone is recognizing what it is I'm doing. And if it takes having to sit down and think, okay, how am I going to communicate to this person? Because you can't talk to everyone the exact same way. Then I think that it makes the art of communicating with employees or coworkers, or even those you report to, a lot easier. Sometimes a lot of us just shoot from the hip. I can do that most of the time when I write. I'm usually a little more introspective when I have to talk to people. But in general, people shoot from the hip, and then they find themselves saying, I wish I'd said this, or apologizing for something later on. You don't believe me? Just look at social media. So it happens. So anyway, that's my thought, is that sometimes we just have to take time to sit back, think about what we want to say before we say it. But let me know your thoughts. Are you pretty good at this, or have you run into people who are bad at this? Let me know. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I'm going to link to my latest blog post in case you want to learn a bit more about me, and I'll talk to y'all next time.